sexiest. Ghosts, ghosts, no gay demon masks, just ghosts, ghosts.
Have gone straight to my head. You asked me to repeat myself, but you already know what I said. Take a step back, you cool alligator. I tried to be friends, but you snuffed me at the cradle. Punch a sock and lock it, you don't own the table. You're about to learn first what they told you in my fable. Does the sky ever answer, or are we just lost in the race? Or are we chasing those flickers in cold outer space? Boy, 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 coming for the king, punching shadow demons till the tin cup rings. Boy, 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 you better get in line, or this trouble starts at your borderline. At your borderline. My head swimming from these crushed up sevens. 2 more drinks and I'll feel like heaven. All this talking that started my engines revving. I hope God doesn't keep tabs after 11. Take a step back, you ain't no James Taylor. You act like everyone on the block needs to pay it. Put a socket and lock it, you don't belong at my table. You're about to learn first what they told you in my fable. Does the sky ever answer, or are we just lost in the race? Or are we chasing those flickers in cold outer space? Stars at your borderline. Trouble starts at your borderline.
All right, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. We got Bruvs Unite today. Let's fucking go, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great time out there today. Hope the halfway through the week is going fantastic. I got a show notes, 2 pages right here that we're going to talk about and some funny stuff. Happy April Fools out to everybody out there. Hope you guys are having a fun time. Hope you're playing some pranks on everybody. James, what the hell's going on, man? How you doing over there in England? You got a new setup. You sound fantastic. Let everybody hear your voice.
You all right? Can everyone hear me? All good? All good?
I think so.
It's good. We tested it out before the stream, and thank fuck it worked. You know what I mean? So we can put all the fucking mic issues to rest. I know this is gonna kill D-Wag inside and out, but I'm like, mate, I told you, it really doesn't matter. You know, we were always gonna get there. You're either a good streamer or you're a bad streamer. You can't change that. But the audio, as long as you've got the money and you can buy the tech, it's always going to get sorted. So we put that to bed and we can move on.
I don't know, James, does this mean you're a tech nerd now? Have you officially crossed the line? Are you one of us techies?
I wouldn't say I was a technophile or an audiophile. I do it kind of under duress, but you know, when people keep saying stuff, and I'm very calm and very relaxed, I don't get bent out of shape about most things, and I'm like, mate, it'll get sorted, it'll get done, relax. You can keep having your digs and poke, but when I get the audio sorted, what are you going to be left with?
Facts,
you know?
Bro. Facts.
It's done.
Bro, I also noticed you got that beard coming in. There's a lot of ladies. I saw them dropping comments your way, looking good in the beard. You know, hey, I like it. I like it. Got the beard bros out there. Shout out from James.
Yeah, it's the salt and pepper look. I'm trying to go for the old George Clooney. You know what I mean? He seemed to have quite a lot of luck with the ladies back in the day. So I was like, crack out the salt and pepper beard.
Yeah, break out that square jaw. Love it. The other man getting his staples removed, his stitches out today. Miami John. How you doing today? How you feeling, man? Did you just get your stitches out? What's the word?
Yep, just got them out this morning. Finally feeling whole again, more or less. Guys, get your mugs from rayrayishappy.com. Badass little mugs.
Yeah, let's fucking go. Grab a mug. John, you might want to turn up just a smidge one more time. How's your head feeling? Did you get your stitches out today?
Yeah, I just got them out today. It was, everything's good. The doctor said it was healing up nicely. No follow-up needed. Just keep it out of the sun for the next like 3 months or so. Like not let it get burned or anything. But other than that, it's
now you look like a proper serial murderer. You look like you're about to go out there and kill some people. Well, we already got. Let me jump down here on the chat and shout out some people. We got Pat, Seashell, SoCal, what's going on? Monk Fruit Sweetener, shout out to you. Gray cloudy day, let's fucking go. Monk Fruit Sweetener, shout out to you, bro. I think I just did that one. Curly, what's going on? Good to see you. Gray cloudy day. Professor Grass, 07 to you, bro. Hope you're having a great day out there. Bass and Bikes, Presby, bro. Good to see you. He says he doesn't think he'll be drinking Guinness anymore. Who else we got out there? Gray cloudy day. Oh, we got a couple Ko-Fis already. We got David P. Shout out to you, bro. Clap, clap, clap. He says, hey, bro, check your DMs. I'll be doing that in a second. Then we got one from Gray Cloudy Day. We got 2 actually from Gray Cloudy Day. Shout out to you. Give him a double air horn on that one. Thank you so much, Gray Cloudy Day. I sure appreciate it. He says, when Ray smiles, we all smile was his earlier one. And then he also said on this one, I don't care because I don't know when I'll be able to do this again. So let's fucking go. Well, I really appreciate it. Gray cloudy day. Sure. I hope you're
all the best to Gray cloudy day. He's going for a bit and he's going for a bit of a struggle, but yeah, he's a good lad. I enjoy his streams. He's a very uplifting character. Not like me. He does actually do good content, not like the crap content I do.
yeah. Gray cloudy day is a great guy, man. Go give him a follow on X if you can. He takes some pictures of some pretty cool countryside out there. I'm a big countryside landscape fan as I paint and draw the landscape quite often. Who else we got? We got Mr. Geeky. Shout out to Mr. Geeky. If you haven't joined the little competition to draw a Vito, you should. Mr. Geeky, he drew a fantastic cartoon, man. Top contender. If you want to go back and check that on my X post. But if you want to join the contest, draw your favorite Vito if you would. We're going to get a Vito interview pretty soon. I got that. I got the little golden Vito statues being made by...
it's going to look nice on my mantelpiece.
Yeah, that's right. By Ben, Based Art Department. He's doing a really great job So I'm really excited about that. I got some other prizes coming as well, you guys. So yeah, just go out there and grab a pen, pencil, do it on the computer, however you want to do it. Get some crowns. Maybe when you're at Denny's eating some pancakes, before the pancakes come, take those crowns and that kitty mat and just go ahead and draw yourself a veto. Take a picture of it, post it on X, and tag me to enter. We're just having a lot of fun with this. The contest ends April 11th. April 11th is going to be the end of that contest. And I think we're probably going to have some guest judges. Might have EVS guest judge and Dick Masterson maybe. I got to throw out the invite, create the video package with all the entries on it, send it to them so they can judge it. Hopefully that'll be the way it goes. I did ask Vito to guest judge. You'd be surprised, but I haven't heard any response from him. But I am still trying to lock in that interview. He did say that he would do it, James, the other day when he was on the Comic Skate Live with Ethan Van Sciver and Johnny Rocket. And so maybe we'll get that going again. What do you think about that?
Maybe he wants to promote that new podcast. Isn't he doing something new, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's going solo.
I don't know. He is doing a new podcast. It's going to be called The Jerk Off, I believe. And I'm not sure if he's going to have another person there. Maybe it's a bunch of jerks. It could be really funny. In my opinion, Vito's a very talented person. So we'll see what he...
How can a man with no friends have a co-host?
yeah, I don't know. We'll see what goes on with that. We'll see what he does. I for one, am ready for the Vito redemption arc. I know that a lot of people don't like Vito, and I wouldn't necessarily call myself a Vito-phile because I don't want to call myself a file of anything, James. But I think Vito's a great character, like Cosmo Kramer was a great character on Seinfeld. Maybe you don't want to live next to him, but he sure is fun to watch on TV. So I love to watch that. Hopefully the biggest problem returns this week. We'll see how that goes. John, are you a Vito-phile, John? Or are you not a Vito-phile?
I'm not an anyone file like that.
Okay.
I mean, I always root for people to make a comeback, so if he can do it, that would be great.
Yeah, facts, bro. You're still a
get
little
that comic book out finally.
Yeah, you're still a little low, John. You might want to bump it up just 2 more notches. I'm just
How's
trying
that?
Yeah, there you go. I'm just trying to balance
Okay.
you with James. Facts, bro. I think everybody deserves a redemption arc, right? Everybody gets a little bit that crazy stuff we're going through right now, especially in life when it's especially hard and it's difficult. Hopefully he does have that redemption arc. We'll see how it goes. We'll keep our fingers crossed. We'll keep this Vito contest going until April 11th. I'm really excited about it. I hope you guys are really excited about it too. There's been a lot of people that have brushed off their pens and their pencils and their paper that they haven't drawn with for like 12 years or whatever, and they're doing it again. So it's always fun to get back and start to do that. Okay, so I just want to shout that out. I think that's all the things. If you want a mug, go ahead and grab one on my website, rayrayishappy.com. John's got the Saint Mersh mug over there, the patron saint of abandoned kitties. We just do the mugs for fun, just to try to, an easy way to make some merchandise to, put out there and let people see them every morning. You put a little smile on your face. So we love the mugs. Okay. So let's see here what we got going on. All right. James, I wanted to ask you, it is April Fool's. Okay. Have you ever experienced a crazy April Fool's prank, or has a prank ever happened to you?
I can't say it has, to be honest, because when it was April the Fool's and I was in the workforce, I always took the fucking day off because I didn't want to be made to look like a mug. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I'm very much a man of self-preservation, and it's we used to get I used to get the Sun newspaper, so I'd always read the Sun, and you'd always see them. They're very obvious, you know what I mean? I avoided X today so no one could make a monkey out of me. I wasn't retweeting anything. I wasn't liking anything. I wasn't posting anything. That's what I'm like. I'm very cautious with something like that because April Fool's is a good bit of banter, you know what I mean? But when you're at college, when you're at school, when you're in the workforce, it always sticks with you, doesn't it? That you're the idiot that falled for the most obvious prank or the most obvious fucking skit or bit, you know what I mean? So no, not really. It's never a thing that I was really into or really got caught out with because I'm just
you just
a bit
avoided
too
it.
savvy for that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we used to do pranks all the time, especially when we were younger. Oh, in high school and college, we did pranks. I mean, even if it wasn't April Fool's, but on April Fool's, we really went all out doing pranks on people. I remember one time in college, we took all of somebody's roommate, a guy on our floor. We took all of his furniture and set it up outside on the lawn right when you walk in. And so I thought that was a pretty good one. And he had to try to move it back in himself because nobody would help him. Of course, that was part of the prank. Sorry, sucker. John, have you ever done a crazy pranks to people on April Fools, or are you seeing one, or been the victim of a crazy prank, perhaps?
Man, I had a buddy who he had a really rough home life. This was like in high school, and he was always fighting with his dad and his sisters, and like they were just they were horrible family life. And one of our other close mutual buddies called me up one day and he's like, "Hey, our buddy Eddie, his sister smashed a ketchup bottle on his head. He's in the hospital." And I'm just waking up. I'm like, not all there yet, not realizing the date. And then I was like, oh fuck. So I raced over there and there was no one. He was not in the hospital.
Yeah,
they fucking got me. And this was before the times of cell phones. So it's not like, once you leave the house,
yeah, you're gone.
That's it. You're gone.
You're gone. Yeah. Yeah. No, April Fools seemed to be like a much bigger thing, of course, when I was younger. And that, bro, have you ever seen any April Fools pranks that like went way too far and it was like almost like torture at that point, like where it was like cruelty, maybe?
I mean, we all remember the fucking Rickroll, right?
Yeah. What was that? Refresh the memory for people.
It was a day where like YouTube on their homepage put every fucking video link would go to the fucking Never Gonna Give You Up song.
Oh yeah.
And that was like, so everyone was clicking on them and everyone got. It was pretty funny.
Yeah,
that was pretty annoying.
No, I've had a couple of friends and a couple of girls that I know that love to do pranks, and they always carried them way too far. Like a big prank that we would do when we played baseball. We would, of course, people would dip or whatever, they'd have their dip cup or their dip bottle, and people would cut a hole in the dip bottle. So the guy would be sitting there like for like an hour or two, just dipping on the bench and spitting or whatever. And then he'd get up and it'd be all over his jersey and everything like that. And it was horrible. Yeah. Another thing that we would do in the locker room is like in baseball, probably in other sports too, but there's that Icy Hot. I don't know if you ever use that Icy Hot cream. It's a cream and you apply it to your muscle and it gets, I think it's cold or hot at first, and then it gets cold or whatever, or the other way around. And we would take that and people would squirt that in people's jock straps and in their cup and stuff like that. And so some guy would go out there and to warm up, and then you would see him dancing, trying to get the fuck back into the locker room because, he got a dick full of Icy Hot. And that was fucking terrible. Yeah.
Do you remember the one during COVID where they were sending out a text that was like, "Oh, check to see. It seems like you were in an area where there was COVID happening." It was like routed through some website or something, and then you click on the link, and it's like the black guy sitting on the corner of his bed with the giant fucking cock.
Oh yeah, facts. Do you remember that funny one during COVID when they like locked everybody down and they got us all?
Yeah, not me, man. I'm in Florida.
Yeah, that's an example of going too far. James, have you ever, been a part of a group of friends or whatever, and there was that one guy or that one girl that always took pranks too far, and you were like, "What, dude, bro? What the fuck, man?" Have you ever experienced that, James?
No, I've just been like, it comes as no surprise that the people that I've hung around with are quite pretty serious people, and they don't like having the piss taken out of them. You know what I mean? They're pretty serious people I've hung around with, and they weren't really pranksters, but like there was always like fights where I was, you know what I mean? It wasn't really pranks or anything, but like with drinking, it would get out of hand and it would start fights. It'd always be fights over fucking women. It'd always be someone that'd say something inappropriate to someone's girlfriend or partner or wife, and then it would escalate. Usually with me, it will always be with their friends. It will always be someone will drink too much, someone will say something inappropriate, someone will say an off-the-cuff remark, someone will take it the wrong way. It all ends up in like a fucking bar fight, you know what I mean? That's the kind of thing that I've been around with, not so much like jokers and pranksters. I think April Fools might be a bigger thing in America than it is in this country. Maybe the British sense of humor is a bit more
reserved.
Fucking stage, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, facts. Professor Grass says Adult Swim has the best pranks in the business. I agree with that. This was back when first-person shooters kind of came out and everybody did that teabagging. I don't know if you guys remember what the teabagging is, but basically what teabagging was is if you're playing a video game, a first-person shooter, if you kill somebody, you would run up to them, and then like you would teabag. You would like the person would be dead right here, and you would like kneel over them, and it's like you're teabagging, you're putting your ball sack on their head. Well, anyway, I had a friend in one of my groups that he would actually try to pull his balls out and teabag people in the most random places. You know, you got to remember this is like a bunch of baseball players and stuff like that during college. And, you know, some guy would be like sleeping or watching TV on the couch, and he would come out and just like put his ball sack on the guy's forehead or whatever. Bro, I was like, that is like uncalled for, man. That's way too much, James. If somebody did that to you, that's like fighting, you know, that's like over the line, don't you think?
Yeah, if someone like fucking put their balls on me, their sweaty balls, or like come up to me and try to twist me bollocks off, I wouldn't be too happy about it. But you have to size it up, don't you?
Yeah.
If he's like a fucking big dude, do you want to fucking throw down with the guy in a 50-50 fight that you could get your ass kicked, mate? It's like, it's one of those, and he was probably a guy that was quite physical. Was he quite big?
Yeah, he was.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could put it on you.
Yeah, he was a big guy, but the funny thing was everybody started trying to flip him every time he would go out or whatever. Everybody started trying to like flick him in the balls or whatever to get him to stop doing that, and he stopped after a while. But it was like too much. John, if some motherfucker came up, one of your bros, and you woke up and there was this ball sack just sitting on your head, what the hell would you do?
Nah, we gotta fight. We gotta fight.
Yeah, I mean, you got to reclaim it, right? Your masculinity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping he was going to say, I'll give him a kiss or something. You know, I really hope he was going to go that way.
Yeah, John, what the hell, man? Don't be kissing on people dropping their ball
James
sacks
looking
on you.
for someone to teabag, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy too is like James, we and James were talking about this just behind the thing for a minute. Is like all of that Scarlett, Ethan Ralph thing that is like an April Fool's joke, but it's real, isn't it, James? That's some crazy shit going on. How she's in the hospital now. I think she's on a 5150 hold or something like that. Did you see any of that, James? That was fucking crazy.
Run, piggy, run, piggy, run, run, run. Here comes the cop with his gun, gun, gun. He couldn't wait to get out, could he? He's such a fucking sleazebag, Ralph. I've got no love for Scarlett. She's an absolute wreck. It's very Sid and Nancy-esque, and it's going down that route where I think they're either going to overdose or one of them's going to kill each other. But all she had was a little cut on her foot, right? He could have sorted that out. He didn't need to leg it. And then, did you see the aftermath? I have no idea. I don't know how it is in America, but in this country, she would have got sectioned under the Mental Health Act because of the rambling and the ranting and the raving. And when she was said, she like, the bit that got me, she goes, every time I go to the doctor, they sexually assault me. She said, I've been sexually assaulted by about 4 doctors. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's the porn industry. I know it's a bit skeezy and a bit skeevy, but what, the doctors are fucking you as well?
Well, I thought maybe she was talking about, just doing a scene with a doctor, a porn scene with a doctor. She got it confused.
Yeah, I hope she's getting paid for it because, you know what I mean? Sexually assaulted and she didn't get paid for it. I mean, fucking hell.
Yeah, I know. Bro.
It's crazy. She's so, have you noticed she's puffing up as well?
Yeah.
I don't know what she's doing, but she used to be very skinny, very, you could see her facial features. She had good bone structure. Now, since she's got with Ralph, she's puffed up like Ralph.
Yeah.
Very puffy, very fucking, her lips have got fishy trout lips. It's weird. I mean, she's only 26 and she's going like Ralph. It's like, because I could never get my head around this. I'm 5 years older than Ethan Ralph, and to me, Ethan Ralph looks like my granddad. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And I saw a picture with Hujan posting him where he always does this look anyway. He looks like he's sucking dick. It's like, and he's just he's just an absolute waste of space. I can't stand the guy, but at the same time, it's one of those things, when you see a car crash and you can't look away.
Oh man,
I want to tune in. I want to tune in and watch Mersh because he's at the absolute pinnacle right now, the peak of his powers, I think. He's got a really good thing going on. He's got the Scarlet content locked down. Anytime something happens, he immediately starts doing the stream.
Yeah,
he's got a good rapport with the audience.
He was streaming at like 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. 2 days ago, yesterday. I got up in the morning. I was like, what the hell? He's on? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, it was midday. I was having my lunch. And I popped it on my phone and I'm like, fucking hell, he's straight on it. And he's like this. He goes, I've made $300. Fucking hell. He's like, He said 2 words and he's made $300. And I said, must be nice, mate.
Yeah,
I mean,
good for him.
good work if you can get it. So congratulations to him, mate. He's got it covered. The Ministry of Dude guys have got it covered as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah, good,
go follow them,
good on
watch
them on the merch and Ministry of Dudes. Shout out to Tank Ferret. Oi, 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 he says as he jumps in chat. Hillbilly Harry says, turns out it's just her gyno checkup. Shout out to you, Hillbilly Harry. Hope you're doing great. John, have you ever dated a girl like this or even remotely close to a girl like this? I mean, she's pretty much
I mean, this
crazy.
This girl's bordering on drug-induced schizophrenia.
That's what I'm
is
saying.
what it looks like to me. I mean, I'm in Miami. I know a lot of people that have gone overboard with the cocaine and God knows what else, and that happens. I mean, they're just out of their minds. It's an insanity show. It feels like, I was saying this in Mersh's chat last night, it feels like we're watching a snuff film play out in slow motion.
It feels weird. It does feel weird like
Right?
that. Yeah.
It feels really eerie.
Yeah.
It feels wrong.
Yeah.
But I can't stop watching, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
it's entertaining.
So have you ever dated somebody like this? I mean, like,
No, not that crazy, man. That's
yeah.
that's too much.
Yeah, she's wild. I mean, would you ever fuck somebody like that, John? That's what the world wants to know. I mean, just once? No, maybe.
Never stick your dick in crazy, but never say never also, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, James, what about you? One time, no, or maybe not at all?
yeah, as long as I didn't have to face her, I'd spin her around, probably during the bumhole, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's fucking go. Yeah,
Because all the black guys have ruined her vagina, so the bum's probably tight. So I'll probably do it there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts,
I think that's
bro.
been ruined too, probably.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But I saw that also, James. I saw that for you guys over there in England, that Prince William and Catherine are saying maybe divorce time. What are your thoughts? Have you heard anything about that? What are your thoughts on that, James?
I haven't heard anything about that, but if that happens, I would imagine that would be the end of the monarchy because Charles is unpopular. He's married to Camilla, who's unpopular, obviously, because of Diana. Diana was the people's princess. Everyone loved her. She died tragically. I've seen that tunnel, man. I'm not surprised. When I was in Paris and I saw that tunnel, I was like, no surprise she died.
Oh.
It's like a fucking death trap.
Wow.
You know what I mean? The French are awful drivers, you know what I mean? And there's no like traffic stops or road signs. It's just a fucking free for all around the Arc de Triomphe, around the fucking everywhere around the Louvre.
Did you go through the tunnel? Did you drive through?
No, I'm not that stupid because like I would have probably ended up dead. You know what I mean? It's like you're just doing where you go to all the places. I was there with my then girlfriend Amy, and we were walking around and doing all the tours, going to the fucking Arc de Triomphe, Louvre, and all that. And it's like it's awful. I can't stand Parisians. I hate them.
Yeah.
They're the French in general. I can't stand.
Really?
They're like they're really arrogant, obnoxious people, and it's like they don't speak English, and I really want them to speak English.
Well, aren't they all
make it easy for me, mate?
Aren't they all African now, or no?
Yeah, they are. They're all like they're all Africans and gypsies. You know what I mean? But like, if you look at like the men's French national football team, it's just all black people, and it was like. It's the same in this country, you know what I mean? It's like it's fucking.
I was watching.
It's a nightmare, but I can't imagine that they would get divorced because even if they stayed together out of convenience, you know, and had extramarital affairs like Charles did when he was with Diana, that would be the thing to do. Because surely you want to be king, and surely she wants to be queen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And Charles is recovering from cancer or still has cancer, so he won't be around for much longer. I would imagine. I don't imagine he's going to live as long as his mother. So
I agree. Yeah, and his hands are like all swollen and fat. And I pay attention to this stuff just because we're entering that time of the Great Reset. So it really feels like that's what's going on.
I wouldn't be surprised. This country is going through an absolute state at the moment. Keir Starmer, who I can't stand, did a conference today with Ursula von der Leyen from the EU, and he's basically saying because of this, Trump's taken us into war with Iran. Because of everything that's happening, we're going to have closer ties with the EU. So 17 million people that voted Brexit, including me and my family, he's not even going to give us another vote. He's just like, right, we're going back into Europe, you know. And Donald Trump has said we've got no army. Pete Hegseth has said we've got no navy. And I think the whole thing about it is they want a European army. That's what they're planning.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if we have a European army, it won't be led by us. It'll be led by the French, or the Germans, So we'll be taking orders from them.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think the European continent, we're going to have no borders.
Yeah, it really feels that way.
No countries.
John, doesn't it feel like they're trying to get us into those 7 zones of the world or whatever? Yeah,
I mean, did you not see the thing that Trump?
No, what?
Seth was? Oh yeah, he did a whole thing with the whole North American Union map with the big American flag all over from Mexico all the way up to Greenland and Canada.
Yeah,
they're doing it.
They've been planning this for how long? I mean, I remember seeing that map like way back in the 90s, bro. They've been.
Yeah, I mean, God, ever since I started waking up to everything, which was like 2002, that's been discussed. Alex Jones was saying they're going to make the currency the Amero, and it's all going to be one big trading union zone, and what is it, 10 zones or something like that, globally.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to try to do, and that's kind of what James is hinting at when he said pushing England back into Europe and making it basically the United States of Europe, and then they're going to have the North American zone, like how they broke it out when George Bush started NAFTA and made that big, 21-lane freeway going all the way down from Canada all the way down to Mexico or whatever. Big B Trucker would know more about that. But, you really get that sense of that's what's going on here. You get, I don't know if you watched the Predictive History of Professor Zhang, but he had a really good podcast about the Great Reset that he dropped. I think it was yesterday, talking about Pax Judaica and how Israel is really trying to compete and really trying to apply to be the enterprise or the global power and trying to show that the elites that they can do that.
Seen that one? He's got a lot of really good takes, but also a lot of really bad takes, and I feel like he's propped up. I mean, he's a Yale graduate, Chinese communist, obviously. So I take what he says with a grain of salt. Obviously, I don't think, he definitely pushes like leftist fiscal policy for sure, which I don't subscribe to at all. But
well, there's one thing.
He does have some interesting, like he is very predictive. He does see what's happening.
No, he does say some stuff that I disagree with. Like I think one of the things that he said that the world used to be run by women and it was much more peaceful back then. And I was like, bruh, have you never been around a group of women? They create fights out of nothing, man. I mean, get out of here. So I disagree with him on that. But there's some other things that he talks about, like how secret societies work and how they integrate through bureaucracy and how that works. And, it explains the system a lot better than what we're told is the real thing. Like, bro, can you vote your way out of this? I know we can't. We've been voting forever, and it just always seems to go the same way. I remember when they said they were talking about the war in Iran all the way back in 2000s era. They were going to take out these next 5 countries, and Iran was the last one on that list. And I've seen the interviews about that. All the way back then in 2000, they had this planned. But, what do you think about that? Is this something that's been planned? Is it orchestrated? Is it designed to, or is it just on the face of it, just about oil, like people say?
No, I think it's been planned. I think it's definitely coming to fruition now. They had to get the conspiracy theorists on board with Trump and subdue them. And now that's kind of happened.
It really does feel that way. Yeah. Go on, John.
Most of the people who were up 10 years ago would have been saying the exact same thing as me are now like, yeah, we're going to take Greenland and Canada and Mexico. It's like, whoa. Calm down, bro.
Yeah, brother.
Calm the fuck down.
No, facts. And then I saw that Trump was saying he's going to pull out of the Gulf or Hormuz. He just like drops that that line. And so it made me think, is he just doing market manipulation here? Like, because somebody's doing insider trading and they're making like fucking millions of dollars right now, hundreds of millions of dollars. Everybody's talking about it.
There's been a crypto trading account that's been supposedly linked to Barron that made like, when the tariff stuff was going on, made like 60 million or 100 million dollars, and then now right before the Iran war they longed oil, and so
I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's not just Barron. I'm sure it's a lot of insiders that are close with Trump, the Adelsons and all those people too.
Well, and also
Yeah,
on
definite.
the short changes, like because if Trump puts out a tweet saying he's going to pull out of the Gulf of Hormuz, that's going to change the market dramatically, man. That's going to change it dramatically. And the people who know he's going to say that can position themselves before he says it and then make a fortune. And so, is that what it's really become? I mean, we saw Trump making the Trump coin. I never thought I'd see him do that. Then he did the rug pull. And then, he basically liquidated it. And so we had an American president basically do what the Hawk-Tuah girl did. Hawk-Tuah.
Yeah,
Yeah, what the hell is that all
I
about?
know. That was insane. That thing went up to like a couple $1 billion, like $4 billion market cap or something, or 40 billion. I don't. It was some insane number, and then just pulled the rug. Boom, sold everything.
Yeah, they just fucking liquidated it, took the cream off the top, went home and made themselves a nice cake with it or whatever. Made some ice cream maybe.
Yeah.
Did you, James, did you see that Hawk-Tuah girl's trying to come back? Did you see that by any chance?
Did she ever go away?
Yeah.
I mean, she's always been floating around.
Well, I mean, like,
You know what I mean? She's like one of those women, right? The whole thing about that whole origin, it seemed astroturf to me, right? Because you had two women there, right? And the one that didn't say it was much fitter
Yes.
than Hawk-Tuah.
Yes.
If you're going to put a rocket ship or you're going to put a rocket up someone's ass, put the rocket up the fit bird. Don't put it up some like fucking skanky country bird who looks a lot older than she actually is. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
When you see her up close, she looks rough as houses, mate. Rough as old Harry, as we say over here. She looks fucking terrible, mate. I wouldn't touch her with someone else's. The other girl, though, she was a proper sort. I liked her. She had a bit of tan on her, nice body. She was a lot better. But like the thing about that is they do it all the time. I watch a lot of streams and they're all doing meme coins. A lot of the ex-gangsters, right, who became rats, who now have podcasts, they like scams. They know, meme coins are scams, so they get involved in it. People like Dominic Sakali got involved in one, and he's done two now, and he pulled the rug twice, right? And he's going to do a third one, and he says, this time I'm going to get it right. You've got to stay together. We're La Cosa Nostra family. You're my family. Give me your money. Why would you give your money to a convicted gangster who's also an informant? I mean, you have to be the dumbest fuck in the world, or you've got so much money that you don't care. Because I would never, I like watching Dominic Sakali. He's a funny idiot. He amuses me, like all Italian guys do. It's like Vito. Hey, it's me, it's a Vito. I like the pizza. I like the women. Da, 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 da. You know what I mean? It's all a bit like that. And I like watching them. And it's amusing. Because I come from like European Italians.
Yeah.
American Italians are kind of amusing to me. They're kind of like an offshoot of Mario and Luigi.
Yeah.
And it's like they're all like that. Even though Chris Pratt doesn't do the accent.
Yeah.
But they're all a bit like that. So yeah, I'm not surprised she won't go away, because what else is she gonna do now? She's too much of a e-celeb to have a normal life.
Yeah.
But she's all kind of like too normal to have like a celebrity life, and people know that she did the meme coin, and everyone kind of like distance themselves. But she's going to do a podcast probably, isn't she? She's going to continue to be around, because when you get that little bit of fame, I think that's like a lot of people online, whether it be you, whether it be me, whether it be anyone in like Comic Skate or Rippaverse, if you can earn a living online, you don't want to go back to fucking working a 9 to 5 or stacking shelves or being a mechanic, working hard for your money. If it comes easy, you want to do that, don't you? And it's kind of like, sometimes if you get it right, podcasting can be like money for old rope, mate, money for jam, like Mersh is in the groove at the moment. Every time he goes on stream, it's like a license to print money. He's probably never had it so good. He's in that rich vein of form. And I think Hawk-Tuah was at a completely different level where she was earning really good money. And I suppose when you've earned that really good money, you don't want to go back, do you?
No, she used to, I mean, the story on the street is that she worked at a factory making mattresses or whatever. I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know that she was making like $30,000 just to appear at a club when she was in the heyday of her popularity. Then she did that plant and that rug pull with that meme coin. And from what I heard her father orchestrated that. And I know she said that her father's not in her life or whatever, but I heard that her father had orchestrated that. And it's hard to go back to work, isn't it? When you think that, if I just podcast a little bit longer, I'm going to gamble and pull that big arm, and it's going to pay off like a slot machine. I'm going to become super rich and famous, so you got to watch out for that. You really do.
Whoever convinced her to do that, she should never speak to them again or never take any advice, because she was on the ascendancy. And I would have advised her, or anyone with half a brain would have said, do not get involved with meme coins. Just
Well,
don't get involved with it. You've got a good thing going on. You've got a good thing. Don't fuck it up.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, facts. But do you think that she really was on an ascendancy? I mean, I know that she started her own podcast and she did like a number of podcasts and they kind of sucked, bro. So I think people were on the verge of figuring out.
I think
that
that's
she was
true.
boring.
But if you've got a bit of like a name, or you're famous for something, you can attract a certain level of person, can't you? That's going to draw in the views, draw in the sponsors, get some eyes on the prize kind of thing. We were at a different level, you know what I mean? But she had that kind of instant fame, and people were attracted to it. And she, like you said, she set up a podcast. But you can't buy a personality. You know what I mean? She said something, right? But then the acid test is get on stream. Have you got charisma? Have you got a personality? Can you talk for 1, 2, 3 hours or however long you're on stream? Can you make sense? Are you engaging enough for people to want to come back and watch you again? And I think you're right in that respect. She didn't have it, but she did have that instant fame that for a time people were attracted to, and she could get people who had a name, had a bit of cachet, and could attract the viewers. So
Yeah.
I think it was kind of like she got found out in the end.
Yeah.
But
No, she definitely
What'd you
had,
do?
she had KSI on her show. She had some really big streamers. She got a really big agent. Do you think the instant fame, do you think her going viral, do you think that ruined her life? Do you think forever now she'll be comparing everything to her?
I know. I think she was
opportunity?
dirt poor, wasn't she? Didn't she come from humble background? She was dirt poor. She probably wasn't like. It was probably never meant to happen unless it was astroturfed. But she was like, she got the fame. She didn't know how to handle it. She obviously got bad advice with the meme coin. And I think, like you said, once you're in it, you really don't want to go back. Could you imagine the embarrassment, right? Say it was me, and like I got out of South London, and I was living in America, and I was living in the Hollywood Hills, and I had everything I could possibly want, and then poof, it goes. And I have to skulk back to where I come from. I have to skulk back to a council estate. I have to go and speak to my friends and my family. And they're like, oh, you had it all and you blew it. Look at you now. You're back working a 9 to 5, making minimum wage. How could you be like that? You would forever have to like listen to that all the time.
Man.
Or do you remember when you had it all and now you had nothing? I think that's kind of like how it would be. I imagine she would do anything.
Yeah.
Probably even go on the game, mate, or fucking do porn.
Well,
She'll do anything, mate. OnlyFans to not fucking go back to that.
I think she started an OnlyFans. I think that's pretty crazy. John, can going viral ruin your life? What are your thoughts on that? I mean, like, you're always going to compare it. It's like if you dated a supermodel, like, when you were younger, you're going to compare every other girl that you dated to her, and then she became a supermodel and went off. Do you think going viral ruins your life?
1,000%. I mean, think about it. She went from nothing to having a huge platform out of nowhere. And then, like James was saying, she didn't really have the substance to back it up and continue to, keep people interested. And that's why she went with the, let me do this meme coin thing and make a bunch of money. I'm sure she was in the know of what was going to happen with that. But yeah, no, she definitely, if you go viral out of nowhere, then try to make a career out of that. You're not gonna go as viral unless everything lines up in the world, in the universe. So yeah, I don't think that's a good way to do it. It's building an audience that gets to know you over time, and then they stick with you because they've kind of grown with you. But going viral like that all at once, people are just in it for that one meme.
Yeah, you basically
of the
become a
Haktua.
meme, don't you? You become a meme right there.
Yeah.
Instead of
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
developing the ability to transact business online. Hillbilly
You're
Harry,
not a person to the people that follow you. You're just like that one thing you said that one time.
right?
It was kind of funny.
Hillbilly Harry says being rich would be cool, not so much being famous, and I agree with that. Fame, I would much rather be rich.
But I
than
never
famous.
found out. Can she actually suck the lead out of a pencil?
Yeah.
That's what I actually wanted to know, right? She's famous, right, for saying that she'd give you the best blowjob than fucking since blowjobs came to fruition and existed. And like, I want to see it. The acid test, man. You talk a good game, darling, but I haven't seen no fucking proof.
Yeah, she spits a good game apparently, but I haven't seen her, top one off, as they say. James, what do you think? Would you rather be rich or would you rather be famous?
I'd rather be rich, because like with money you can do anything. You can do anything, you can be anything, you can go anywhere, you can take care of your friends and family. You're sorted, you're minted, you're gold for the rest of your life. Being famous has never really entered into my head. I think like my life was going on a career trajectory where it was never gonna be. I was never gonna be famous. I was quite good at football when I was a kid, but I kind of like tapered off when I was 11. I kind of like lost interest, didn't take it seriously enough. I reckon I would have had a good crack at doing like football. My little cousin, he's really good at football, and I think if he really knuckles down, he could be a fucking Premier League football player. You know what I mean? He's got it in him. He's a really good footballer. He's got the commitment. Everything's about football in his life. I think if he stays on that path, he is going to be successful and going to be famous. But no, I don't really care about fame. I don't, I like it when people say nice stuff. They go, "Hey James, yeah, like that stream, that was good." You know what I mean? And I always I'm grateful and appreciative. I kind of like when the negative comments came, and I was getting all that grief with my mum and that. I just tune it out and ignore it. I don't give the people oxygen. I mean, it's not the be all and end all of my life to be famous, but to have an infinite amount of money, to have enough money where I can take care of my family and everyone around me for the rest of my life, yeah, that would be great. I love it.
John, same question to you. Same question to the chat. Chat, would you rather be a rich or famous? Now, John, think about it. I mean, if you're famous, that means everybody knows you. Everybody, whatever. Maybe you have more riz with the women. Go to the bar. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's this guy. It's John. It's Miami John." John, would you rather be rich or famous? Which one?
Rich, 1,000%.
Okay.
If I'm rich, I can just go buy everyone a round of drinks and get the same effect, right?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, no,
Okay, so I was watching this thing with Asmongold the other day, and he was talking about, because Asmongold, I don't know, I think everybody probably knows who Asmongold is. He's a streamer, video game streamer. He's a tall guy, thin. He's kind of a nerdy guy, but he's a cool guy. He's like 100% authentic. And he was talking about like he's pretty wealthy. He has like a 3 or 4 companies, and he's a millionaire a couple times over easily. And he was saying how it's so difficult to date because women really don't want you if you're an unattractive man, even if you have money. John, what are your thoughts on that?
I disagree with that. I completely disagree with that. I think if you have money, you'll do just fine with the women.
Do you think that
you have to grow a personality. It's not like money just brings your personality, but you could definitely, as you get money, you get into circles where you're socializing more with people who have money, and you kind of see how they move in life and how they socialize, and like attracts like,
Yeah.
So
facts.
then you will gain some personality having money, and then the money itself just gives you an aura of non-desperation.
I agree with that. I think that's well put. But haven't you ever met these guys who have no personality but they're filthy rich? I mean, I've met tons of them. It's like, bro,
Go to Monaco.
Yeah, Monaco. It's like they always have to keep trying to invite these other famous people or creative people or fun people around because they're basically lizards. They have no personality. What about you, James? Have you ever had that experience where somebody's trying to that maybe they're more well off than you, and they're like, "Oh, bro, just come with me. I'll pay for all the drinks. Oh, just come out with me tonight so we could get some girls or whatever." And they kind of use your riz or your personality to try to help them make up for what they lack in.
Yeah, I had a friend that had the personality of a wet weekend in Blackpool, but he ran a haulage company. You know what I mean? He was like, his father owned a haulage company. It was going to go to him. He had more money than sense. You know what I mean? And he would always tap me up and say, "Look,
more money than sense." That's a good one.
It'd be like there's fucking. He's like, drinks on a plate. I'll pay for your bit. And the problem is, right? If a man, right, another man, albeit like a friend, an associate, an acquaintance, if he pays your freight all the time, you begin to feel like a woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? You begin to feel like the girlfriend. You know what I mean? It's kind of like emasculating in a certain way, because I like to put my hand in my pocket, pay my own way. You know, buy a round of drinks when it's my turn. But you know what I mean? It all goes around. If you've got a guy that just wants to hang out with you because you're a bit cooler than him, you've got a good personality, you can bring in the birds. He's using you, and also he's kind of like paying you. So you're kind of like a male prostitute.
Yes.
It's like he's fucking.
Yes.
And it's very emasculating when you go back, because there's no friendship.
No.
It's just like a business transaction.
Yeah.
He needs you to be able to fuck birds.
Yeah.
Because he's got all the money in the world. But like I said, he's got the personality of a wet dishcloth. So he's paying. And imagine when you go out, right? So you go to a restaurant and it's a double date. And it's like you're sitting there, right? And then he gets his credit card out. And you're one of the girls.
Yeah. Yes.
Because he's paying for your date. He's paying for his date, and he's paying for you. And it's like, it's on me. And then all the women know that he's the man with the fucking future, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he's the guy.
And that's
you know,
what he wants.
He'll probably end up having a threesome, and I'll be going back on me Jack Jones, you know, on my own.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what happens. He'll take both of the birds and bang them out, and I'll be left with nothing. So it's a shit night for me. Oh yeah, he's paid for me meal, fantastic, and a couple of drinks, and I've got fuck all to show for it. No, it's not really how I like it.
No.
You know what I mean? I like to pay my way. I like to, you know what I said, but it's like that, like I was saying before I jumped in and interrupted you with the Monaco thing. If you see those videos on YouTube, you'll see these incredibly rich people. They're like Russian oligarchs, Russian billionaires. They look fucking awful, mate. They look like a wrinkled mess job, right? But they've got all the money in the world, and they have got the hottest birds.
Yes.
I'm telling you, they got the Russian models,
Like
they got
20
the
of them
Ukrainian
at a
models.
time.
They got the Czech models. They got all of them, right? And they're like 80 years old, mate. But they have got the fittest birds, mate. They've got the bird, right? They're at the end of their life, and they've got the birds at the peak of their powers.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit jealous, but like, fair play. You've got the money. You might as well enjoy it, ain't you?
Well, that's true, but the women, I'll talk about this in a second. The women don't love them either. They're just using them transactionally, like you said earlier. But let me jump in the chat real quick. We got Professor Grass. He says he doesn't want to be rich or famous. He just wants to be, wait, what did he say? I don't want to be famous or rich. I just want a rich person's penance. Let's fucking go. That's the way to do it. Mr. Cheeky says, Rich, Stuttering John is famous, but he ain't rich. Yeah, nobody wants to be a Stuttering John. We got Monk Fruit says, okay, I already bought one. All right. No, Monk Fruit's asking if he did something wrong. I don't know. Is he pissing somebody off in the chat? I don't know. John.
That's David P. In it. He's a good guy.
Yeah, no,
he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. John, you know, have you ever had something like this happen where, you know, you got a really transactional individual who they invite you out to try to be the personality so they can attract the people, and they end up buying everything, sure, but they treat you like the help, basically. They treat you like, okay, you work for them now, and they start giving you orders.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what the fuck, bro? I could just leave. Fuck this.
You know, and it's gone not both ways. Like, I've never paid for anyone to treat them like the help, right? But
I have. All the Mexican people. No, I'm just kidding. I never know.
That was pretty good. No, you know, like, there's times in your life where you're doing well, and there's times in your life where you're not doing well. And in one of those times where you're not doing well, your buddy says, hey, let's go on a fucking trip to wherever we're gonna go, right?
Yes.
And you know, they know they're footing the bill, but then the whole time it's like you're the fucking the servant, right?
Yeah, bro.
I've had that situation before. I've also had situations where, like, you know, when I was out in California, I was doing really well, and I was I brought some friends out to come work out in the industry, and they, you know, I let them stay at my place rent free, just like, hey, pay the extra utilities that go up. And then they do you dirty. So
yeah. Okay, let's talk about that in a second. But we got a little Ko-Fi. We got from Future Dead Guy. Bro, everybody, all of us are Future Dead Guys. He says, contribution to the good vibes and mustache fund. Let's fucking go. Let's get a little horn for that. Thank you, bro. I sure appreciate that. That helps out. And, you know, mustache wax ain't cheap, people. It ain't cheap. We're having a good time over here. But no, yeah, I've done this thing too. And maybe, James, maybe you've done this. I had a girlfriend, right? A couple different girlfriends, as a matter of fact, that were very attractive, and they would know famous people. And sometimes they would go out with these famous people, like in groups, like John was, like you were talking about, James. And I convinced one time to say, "Hey, man, get the guy to bring me." I mean, like, what the hell? What's going on? What are you guys doing over there? And she's like, "Oh, we're just getting drinks." I'm like, "Well, if it's no big deal, then I'm gonna come." So I went, and it was at. Do you guys know who Little John is?
Yeah. Oh
He's
yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, Little John," and it was him, and one of his times. And so my girlfriend brought me with him, and like Little John, we got into the whole club, and I'm walking back through the ropes with her, and of course she's a knockout. And we get back there, and Little John gives her a hug. She gives him a hug, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Who's this nigga?" Like that, and I was like, and I just smile, and he's like, "Oh, this your boyfriend, ain't it?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, come on." So he was really cool about it. I mean, like he let me to come, and we partied and all that kind of stuff at the table. And then he went and DJ'd a couple sets and all that, and we had a good time. But it definitely was a strange feeling. James, have you ever had something like that happen?
I don't know. I haven't had someone call me a nigger, and that would be kind. I don't think I'd be too responsive to that if someone called me that. I think we'd have to we'd have to go outside and have it on the cobbles, mate. But no, it's a funny thing about it depends really with women with me. If I really like someone, I get jealous. You know what I mean? If I know they're attractive and I know that they're really attractive and other people are going to be interested in them, you've got to be kind of protective and you've got to be kind of eagle-eyed, because every time that you're not around, say you're busy at work or you don't get invited, you know that other blokes are going to be chatting her up. You know, even if she was married, they'd still see her as fair game. You know what I mean? Because it's a bit of sport. You know, can I pull the married woman? You know what I mean? So you're never really, as a bloke, you're never really secure in your relationship if you're with an incredibly attractive woman. Because we know this from famous people. There's always cheating. There's always extramarital affairs. There's always divorces. People remarry. You're never secure. Even if you're the best looking guy in the world, there's always someone better looking than you with more money. I've said this before, and there's always going to be someone that wants your bird, because, you know, you're not going to, if she's really good looking, you're not going to be the only person that fancies her, are you? Everyone fucking fancies her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a fucking, it's survival of the fittest. It's a competition. Every time you go out anywhere, whether you go to a restaurant, whether you go to a bar, whether you go to a club, whether you go to an event, she's out there in the open. It's like the fucking like wildlife, you know, safari fucking in Africa, big game hunting, you know, it's on. And you've got to be kind of like vigilant, you've got to be protective, you've got to be a bit on the old edge. And that's the way it should be, I think. You know, it keeps it fresh. You know, you want them to want you as much as you want them, and you 100%. Want there to be a bit of like friction. You want there to be passion. Like I said before, I always want a woman, like when I come back through the door from work, I slap her on the ass and I'm smashing her within 5 minutes, or that's how I want it to feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's literally how I want it to feel, that the passion's always there. And for that to be, and for that to exist, there has to be a physical attraction, and you have to both be physically attractive. I mean, average looking people are probably not like this. You know what I mean? It's like, or, you know, when you see like fat people and all that, they don't have that kind of like fucking
the
problem or issue
or
or passion. Yeah. It's not, it's just like kind of like two fat people like sitting on the sofa wasting their life away. You know what I mean? A marriage that, you know, a dead end marriage, you know, they just are. Yeah. It's like you want that violent, not violent passion, but you want that fucking vibrant passion.
Yeah, vibrant.
And that's how I've always felt about it. And I'd be very jealous in my relationship sometimes. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've got into fights, I've got into arguments. And then the worst thing is she blames it all on you. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, but you're fucking really hot and you're fucking flirting and you're not letting him know that we're together or whatever. You know, you got to fucking, you know, you've got to meet me halfway here.
No, you're 100% right. Let me jump in the chat real quick. We got Hobo Chili Recipe. Shout out to you. He says, what's going on? Hobo Chili Recipe said, he let you come. Skeet, 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 skeet. Yeah, let's fucking go. We got Zayd. Shout out to Zayd in the chat. Hobo Chili Recipe says, the only guy I have to worry about with my girl is Jeremy Renner. Which I don't understand. She has terrible taste. Jeremy Renner, yeah. I think you're good, bro. He got ran over by a tractor a couple years ago, so don't worry about that.
But he's flat as a pancake now.
He got that Ralph, what is it, Ralph male flat dick or whatever. 100%. But no, facts, bro. The thing is that as men, we got to understand something, and I understood this a long time ago. You know, women they have these they have multiple desires. They want to go out, they want to be admired, they want to be worshiped, they want to be, get all that attention, and they want to have all that clout. So they'll want to do that, but then they also want to be loved and taken care of. So those are two separate things, and so they will love you or whatever, but still want to go out and like want to be on the paint the town red and get all the attention and, get high off all of that emotion. And, so you got to be able to if you get a hot woman, bro, it is a responsibility to be able to take care of that and fulfill her needs and keep her that way. Or else you're right, James, you're going to have, there's always a different guy that, he doesn't even have to be better looking or rich. He just in that moment has to provide that little bit of sparkle that maybe they haven't had in a while, or maybe you haven't given them in a while, and they'll be looking for it. And that's why you got to be careful, when your women go out on like the girls trips and all that kind of stuff. They can get in a situation where they just went out to have fun, but then it turns into a 2 a.m. dick sucking contest, and then they don't know how they got there. That could happen. I'm not saying that's ever happened with me. I mean, yeah, well, maybe I've lost a few girlfriends that way. I don't know. I was around a lot of famous people, and sometimes, the girls would just ghost you for a week, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, hey, I'm back. And that's usually because they figure out that the guy only wanted them for a few days and then threw him to the side. You know what I'm saying, James? That can happen.
Bit like that clavicular, mate. He's going for a mini, I tell you.
That's the truth, man. That's the truth. I
saw he was putting on that Woe Vicky, and I was like, you jammy bastard. You fucking jammy. Because I'm hanging out with fucking like Miami John now. I'm like, he's a fucking one in here. She's got that Miami like Spanish thing going on, isn't she, Woe Vicky? It's like, of all the people that you see on there, they're all good looking birds, but they got a personality of a wet dishcloth. But
oh my God.
That Woe Vicky, she's kind of got a bit of a personality. And she goes, oh, yeah, she talks about her family. She talks about religion. She's not the sharpest tool in the box, but there's kind of like an honesty about her.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it. You know what I mean? Watching that content, I was like, oh, watch this kit content with Clavicular and Woe Vicky. And I'm like, mate, she's all right. She's kind of like a nice bird. You know what I mean? It's like good girl type thing.
Yeah, Woe Vicky was the only girl that said when she was supposed to go to some of these Hollywood parties, they take your blood. I don't know if you guys know that. But they take your blood. They make you sign a contract. They make you an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. They make you put your bag in one of those, pouches or whatever it blocks all the transmission, so you can't take pictures and stuff like that. And they also take your blood. And she said when they asked her to take her blood, she was like, "Well, hell no, I'm not going in one of those demonic parties." Because that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what they were doing. It's some crazy shit. John, did you hear about that by any chance?
Not that in particular, but that would not shock me in the least.
Bro, they be doing that shit, dog.
Shit.
Yeah, they be doing that.
They all do blood magic and sex magic and all kinds of ball worship. It's all
coming out now, ain't it?
Possibility.
Yeah, it's all coming out.
It's like all the wackiest stuff that we were saying, us conspiracy people, is now just like everyone's waking up to it. You can't hide it anymore. The genie's out of the bottle.
Yeah. Facts, bro.
It's done.
Oh, we got Hobo Chili Recipe in the chat. He says, anybody written out a snowplow to run over Jeremy Renner? Yeah. Bro, is your lady getting ready to leave you for Jeremy Renner? If that's the case, man, I will rent a snowplow myself and come find your ass, and we'll go run his ass over, okay? Don't worry about it.
I still got to watch that show he's in. I still haven't got around to it. What's that one where it's like a prison fucking...
Oh, does he have a new one? Does he have a new show coming out?
I think he's been going a few years. What's it, Mayor of Kingstown or something? I still got... Is it Mayor of Kingstown?
Okay,
I think it might be that one.
I watched it. All right, I'll tell you exactly about the Mayor of Kingston, because I watched it. I watched the whole first season. I watched the whole second season. The first season's good, okay? The first season's pretty fucking good. They even have that Chandler, Ray. I think his name is the actor Ray Chandler. He's in the first episode. He's fantastic. I love everything that Ray Chandler is in, but they kill him right away, and that fucking pissed me off, man. And it didn't make it. It took something away from the show. But the show, the first season was fantastic. So okay, I'm like, all right. I watched the first season for free. Let me go buy the second season and watch it. The second season is dog shit, bro. Don't watch the second season. It gets all fucking soft. They get the same formulas over and over again. I don't know if the writers just left, but the first season of Mayor of Kingston is fantastic. I don't know about the third or the fourth. I didn't last that long. I only watched it maybe more than halfway through the second season. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wasting my time watching this? But James, I would watch the first season. It's free on Prime.
It looked to me like it was the new Wire.
Yeah,
It looked to me like that when I looked at it.
yeah. It's a little bit like Justified because Jeremy Renner is kind of like the fixer, or maybe like a Ray Donovan, but out in New Jersey or something, and he's like a fixer or whatever, and he's like he takes care of business, and so it's a pretty good show. The first season is. I wish they had kept Ray Chandler in there, but I guess maybe they couldn't pay for it or whatever. But the first season's fire. I didn't like the second season. It was a pretty big drop off. Maybe it gets better in the third season, but I didn't give it a chance.
Everything drops off now. Have you noticed that? Everything that starts on fire, everything starts with a bang. It goes on for too long or drops off immediately. You know what I mean? It's like I can't remember the last time I watched something and it carried itself all the way through. Like I said, I watched the Peaky Blinders movie and I actually liked it because it was a conclusion. It was a conclusion of the Shelby family. I don't agree with them making a new series in the 50s because, like I said, you're going to get dangerously close to bringing in the Crays, the Richardsons, the Addams family. You're not going to be able to do gangster stuff in the 60s, 50s, 60s without bringing in big time like that. And then you can't have the Shelbys getting over on people like the Crays and the Addams and the Richardsons. So, but the last two series, like 5 and 6 of Peaky Blinders, was dreadful. It focused on Sir Oswald Mosley. It in the movie. The movie's, if you take it, it's not really a gangster movie. It's a war movie.
Yeah,
it's a very, very tight war movie, about an hour and 25, hour and 30 minutes, and you can enjoy it for that. But like that, they talk about Peaky Blinders very, like it's up there with The Sopranos, it's up there with The Wire, and it's like it's not. It's hit and miss. Like everything is hit and miss nowadays.
Yeah. I saw they did a remake of the Sherlock Holmes too. I haven't watched that, but that looks a lot softer than the ones with Benjamin Cumberbatch looked. We got shout out to CK in the chat, says, "What's up, friends? Good to see you, bro. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great time." He says, "Still no bloody subtitles for James." Yeah, let's fucking go. We'll get some of those.
He's always on my case, man. You just can't get away from it. You can't please everyone. I end up pleasing no one. You know what I mean? I go to all this effort. I go to all this expense. I let you look at my fantastic, beautiful face, my lovely clothes and everything, and you still give me shit. What more? What more can I give you? Blood? Do you want blood?
No,
Do you want that? You want that Hollywood blood?
Yeah, facts, bro. Going to one of those parties. John, what are some good series have you watched recently, or have you watched none? I know you're working your ass off. You're out there getting in bare knuckle boxing fights. I mean, stuff like that. A Fight Club? Are you doing Fight Club, or what are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing, bro?
And taking out third world leaders, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't really watch TV.
Okay.
It's funny. I used to love movies. I always wanted to be a director, like as a kid, and at some point, movies just started really sucking.
They did. They got very formulaic.
Yeah. And now it's even worse because I'm talking about before they started getting on all this remake stuff that they're doing now.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, okay, we don't have any balls to try anything new. Let's just remake this thing and make it, black and gay or whatever.
Yeah.
And then TV was really good for a while. I didn't see The Sopranos. I didn't see Peaky Blinders, but man, the best series for me ever was fucking the meth one, Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
such a great series. Like it was captivating. It was great. It had a lot of Easter eggs. It had rewatch value, and then Better Call Saul was amazing.
Oh, that was fire.
And I just don't have the time for TV.
We got CK.
I don't even own a TV.
Yeah, facts, bro. We got CK in the chat. He says, "Hush now, Groucho. I love you, Telly." I don't know. That sounds like some British words. I don't know what you're talking about there, CK.
Yeah, that's definitely some British mumbo jumbo.
Right. No, what I think here I'm going to tell you guys a huge series that I loved, but just the first season. That's a sleeper. Is a show called Bloodlines, and it's about a family down in Florida, and it does have Ray Chandler in it. And it has this other guy, I forget his name, but he plays a character named Danny, and he's the older brother, and he's a complete scammer and hustler. And he comes back to the family business, which is a bed and breakfast, and he starts trying to run cocaine through it, and then tries to get them all arrested and all that kind of stuff. And Ray Chandler's a sheriff in the area, and it's about that. It's fantastic. I would highly recommend that. That's Bloodlines season 1. That was a fantastic one. Very psychological. If you know about cluster B personalities, Machiavellianism, sociopathy, it's one of them kind of shows, and you'll very much like it. As soon as you see who the Danny character is, you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, because he popped off on that character, and then he got really popular for a while, and he's an older guy, so that's fantastic.
To me, I think the superhero genre killed modern cinema.
That's what I
I
was
really
gonna
do.
say. Yeah, that's what I was gonna
I
say.
know
Yeah,
people won't
it's-
like. I know people won't like this because a lot of the people that watch this and they're in comic skate and they're in Rippaverse and they're very much into the superhero genre. But if you think about it, that genre just took over cinema. You know, especially Marvel, and it created that wedge where people like Martin Scorsese and Quentin Tarantino and all the auteurs began to resent that kind of cinema, and then they in turn, by the mass audience that watches those movies, accused Quentin Tarantino and Martin Scorsese and other auteurs of being film snobs. So they set up this friction where now like they're at war with each other, in it. It's like the popcorn movie that makes all the money versus the great art, the great works, you know, that doesn't really make any money. They do 30 days at the cinema and then they go straight onto Netflix or some streaming platform. So I think there's that wedge there, and it started with the superhero genre, which a lot of it is terrible.
Yeah.
If you look at DC's output, it's horrendous.
Yeah.
Every time they go to reboot it, it's even worse than the last time. If you think about it, the Suicide Squad movie was terrible, and then they did the Suicide Squad, both terrible movies.
Yes, I agree. I think that you hit on something there, James. I think what they basically did is they created fast food, but for movies. And I think the superhero genre is fast food for movies. Do you remember when you used to like go out to restaurants every once in a while, and it was like a special thing, and then fast food hit, and people started going more and more often to now where it's like, going out to fast food, it's kind of like a pain in the ass. You don't really want to go, but maybe you don't want to cook. What are your thoughts on that, John? Did the whole Marvel universe, the DC, the superhero making Blade, it was so great with Wesley Snipes. Did it lead us down this road?
It was great with Wesley Snipes. That was that first Blade movie, and I didn't even realize he was a comic book character at the time. That was a great fucking movie. That first movie, so many memorable, quotable moments, and yeah, I think the Marvel movies started out pretty decent. When they got the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. The first one, then the second one was cheesy, and the third one was like not even worth talking about. And then they had the whole the X-Men series was kind of lame, but then they kind of brought it back with the whole Infinity Wars and those
It was
series,
Iron Man.
Those movies were pretty. Yeah,
Robert
those
Downey
movies were pretty
Jr.
good
carried that.
for what they were, right? For like good action, special effects, blockbuster kind of movies. They're pretty good, and they always had like the Easter egg at the end that leads you to the next part of the movie. But yeah, they just killed everything. Like everything had to become like a universe within a universe in all movies, and it's just they've kind of sucked the creativity out of everything. And then they tried to make all these other characters a thing that no one ever cared about, like She-Hulk and Captain Marvel and all these other
My
ones.
question is, where's all the men movies? The men movies where it was a cop, like like Bosch or like Ray Donovan, or where's all these shows? They know how to make them. The Westerns, like with Clint Eastwood, that masculine character, they seem to want to get away from that. Let me jump down in the chat real quick. Mr. Jiki says, George Floyd, BLM summer killed American entertainment. When I was looking at getting a novella published, every publishing house was saying we were only taking manuscripts with BIPOC writers. Yeah, there's that whole there's a whole standard. I forget what the standard's called, but there's like 21 check boxes that Hollywood requires, and it's all like gay, lesbian, all that kind of stuff, bro.
I didn't know that they had that.
Yeah,
I saw someone talking about it. I don't remember who it was, but they were saying, back in the day when there was a movie, right?
hold on a second. Your audio dropped out. Let me fix that real quick. I was watching for it. I was like, damn it. I know Grass. Grass is probably yelling at me right now. Ray, I told you how to fix that. I know. I just been going like crazy. So swamp. So, all right, John, can you say something? Let me know if you're back.
Are we back?
You're back, buddy.
Cool. So I can't remember who it was. I was watching something on YouTube, listening in the background, and they were saying how back in the day when there was a movie, right? It was a lone guy. He's down on his luck. He has to overcome something and then defeat the evil, right? And now
that's the hero's journey. Yeah.
Yeah. And now it's like, okay, there's a whole team of good guys that have to like team up to beat up on the one bad guy.
Yeah.
And like I think that there's something to that.
No,
like it's
so
a
gay.
masculine journey anymore.
No, it's so gay. And also, like, I'll talk about it in a second. Let me clear this chat out real quick. Mr. Jiki says, same thing happened in Hollywood, video games, etc. They just push garbage and it's going to take a decade to recover. Agree. Professor Grass says, comic book history is replaying in streaming shows now. All the people that used to like Marvel are now watching the boys and stuff like that. That we need the Watchmen kind of comic, 100% to resurrect the comic genre. I agree. CK says, what is BIPOC? BIPOC is persons of biracial color or something like that. Basically, all the DEI stuff is BIPOC.
Anyone that's not white and straight.
Yeah,
basically.
Or men. We don't like white, straight men. So, Mr. Jiki says black, indigenous, people of color. That's what BIPOC means, 100%. All the good writers left when they went on a strike a few years ago, Hillbilly Harry. That's another great point. They sure as hell did. Pat says, yeah, it's all crap now. Professor Grass says, bring back movies like The Principal. Oh, yeah, The Principal was great. It was funny, action-filled, and awesome. They had that fantastic movie called Dread. Just that, I don't know why they never made a second one to that. That movie was fantastic. I don't know if
that was basically based on The Raid, though. Have you seen The Raid and The Raid 2?
Yes.
It's basically just like The Raid, but in comic book form. Where they go in there and they work their way up the block. It's like fucking you're fighting against all kinds of odds. You're not going to make it, but somehow you do make it.
Right.
I think I do love martial arts movies. There is some good genres, but if you think about all the genres that have died, musicals have died.
Yes.
Right, westerns have died.
Yes.
The buddy cop movie has died. The gangster genre has died. There's so many genres that have died now, or they've let die, and they don't make them because there's no commercial, there's no audience, or there's no prospect of any commercial success. They made The Irishman, and it was a complete flop. They had it. The cast was there. It was set. It was a good story. It was from a book called I Heard They Paint Houses. It was about the assassination of Jimmy Hoffa. They had all the ingredients. They had the writer from Casino and Goodfellas, Nicholas Pileggi, had everyone on board, and they just couldn't land it because the audience for it has completely disappeared.
Yeah.
There's guys like me who are hanging on, but we're getting older and we're phasing out. And you're coming from a generation now. I don't know if you've seen it, but there was a flash mob in South London where they just basically said on TikTok, go to Clapham, South London flash mob. That's what the kids do now.
Yeah.
They want like 2-minute videos, 3-minute videos. They're on TikTok. They're on Instagram. Like John says, he doesn't own a TV, doesn't watch like whatever, doesn't watch film, TV. And it's like, that's the generation that's coming up. They don't give a shit about fucking sitting down for 2 hours and watching a movie. They haven't got the attention span, I don't think.
No, I agree with you. Nor do they have like those emotions evolved in their frontal lobe of their brain. But it makes me wonder this, how we have like sports now and basically gambling has gutted sports. The sport itself doesn't matter. Just the fact that people are gambling on it has influenced it to the degree that the sport outcome's not important. It's just how people gamble on the sport. Is that what has happened in entertainment? Like, it doesn't matter. It's just money laundering now. It's something to pump money through. The quality of the movie doesn't really matter. Just make the movie so you can launder your money. Is that what's going on, James? What are your thoughts?
Well, think about it, right? There's the thing that we broached before and spoke about before, the Gina Carano Ronda Rousey fight. Why do you think Netflix are getting into the fight game? They're not getting in the fight game really for any altruistic reasons. They don't want to promote the sport. They're getting back all the old has-beens because it's a marketable event and they're going to get people to subscribe to Netflix. They want subscribers. That's all they're looking for. So like you said in a previous segment, they're looking for fast food entertainment.
Yeah.
And what's fast food entertainment? You've got the best of the era, Ronda Rousey, and you've got a so-called right-wing darling, a right-wing lightning rod, Gina Carano, who's still a bit of a looker, even though I don't think so, but some people do. She's got a fan base. They both got a fan base. People are not going to watch it because it's going to be this classic sporting event. It's like Tyson Fury's comeback fight against Makhmudov. No one's watching that because it's a great contest, a 50-50 fight between two equal fighters. It's just something that's going to get subscribers for a short period of time, and that's what they're doing now. It's just little cash grabs, and of course there's going to be a lot of money, a lot of gambling that's going to be funneled through something like Rousey and Carano.
Yeah. Chat, who's hotter, Ronda Rousey or Gina Carano? Drop it down in the chat who you think is hotter. James, who do you think's hotter? I think you said is Gina hotter than Ronda Rousey or Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, Gina is obviously hotter, but the thing that annoys me about Gina, right? I don't like these people that suddenly become like lightning rods for FNT. You know what I mean? Where they become the rah-rah person or the rah-rah girl. It's like, remember when Dean Cain, fucking Superman, was appearing on FNT, and yes. I made a comment on a Dick Masterson post, and I said, you must be down bad, bruv. You used to be fucking Superman alongside Terry Hatcher, and now you're fucking going on FNT. And he's like, mate, I've got a big fucking house and loads of money. What have you got? And I'm like, dude, you're going on FNT. If you were a big Hollywood guy, if you noticed everyone on the right, usually they're a bit Mickey Mouse. You had Kid Rock, didn't you?
Yeah.
Fucking, you can't compete. I've always said this, the right should not try to compete in the world of entertainment like that, where they try, because it just looks cheesy and cornball. You know, when they had the alternate fucking halftime show at the Super Bowl, it was abysmal, and Kid Rock was your main guy. And then you've got people like Gina Carano and Dean Cain. You're always kind of scraping the barrel. These are not exactly A-listers. They never were A-listers. The only one I can think of who I give any respect to, who is a great actor and is out and proud right-wing guy, is James Woods. James Woods was always a good actor. He always puts in he's very good in Ray Donovan. He's excellent in Casino. He's very good in Once Upon a Time in America. You know what I mean? He's a very, very good actor. He speaks out. Yeah. And I'm a right-wing guy, but I get second-hand embarrassment when we try and compete in that entertainment field, because they don't come out, do they?
Well, you know,
I think who's a big right-wing guy, like Chris Pratt. He's a big right-wing guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Goes to church. I think he might be a right-wing guy, goes to church, says all right, but he never speaks up, does he?
No.
I don't
because he knows
he's necessarily a right-wing guy. I think he just goes to church and doesn't hate America.
Yeah, he's not a Satanist.
He's probably like,
but he gets stick, maybe? Doesn't he? He gets stick from the left because he's a Christian. So they put him in that fucking thing. Yeah. But he never really speaks up, does he? There isn't someone of that level who's kind of like A-list who will risk saying anything, because they'll end up like Dean Cain, Gina Carano, I think fucking that crowd.
Would you say Mel Gibson kind of did that, or no?
Mel Gibson,
but he's just got balls the size of fucking mountains, isn't he? He's like,
I love Mel Gibson. He's just like a different
gravy. He doesn't give a fuck, does he?
Yeah. No.
Once he made his money from Braveheart and then The Patriot and then fucking Passion of the Christ, that's it. You can just be Mel Gibson and not worry about anything.
He's a fucking legend. I
love Mel Gibson.
A lot of the times I agree with you, James. I think a lot of the right-wing people create things like Christian rock versus real rock and roll. It always feels like it's watered down and it doesn't really hit, whereas real rock and roll feels real. It's because we don't want to watch movies about some guy being nice. We want to watch movies about, a serial killer. And most of the time they're not Christian. What are your thoughts on that, John?
The reason that I agree with James in a way, like right wingers shouldn't try to compete in that world. Sort of. Like the problem is what makes all these movies bad that are left wing movies and right wing movies, like the obvious ones where they try to hammer down an agenda and force it down your throat. That's the problem. They're trying to hammer down an propaganda and force it down your throat.
Yeah. Propaganda sucks.
If
who made that fake Snow White? What was it? Who made that fake Snow White? Was it fucking Timcast people? I can't remember.
I think it was
they
made
Daily
that.
Wire. Daily Wire.
The Daily Wire. Yeah.
I mean, look, it's fucking embarrassing. You just want to fucking like.
Yeah, it was horrible.
If right wingers wanted to make movies do it, but don't put like, don't make every movie like, what would Jesus do, right?
Yeah, bro, I don't want to watch that
You
shit.
can have a good overarching message that fits with the right wing without making it all about only the message that you're trying to push. And whenever either side does this, it makes the art shit.
Yeah, facts, bro. I mean, like when Mel Gibson made Passion of the Christ, bro, that was a banger,
an amazing
bloody movie,
movie.
bro. Make it like that. Mel didn't shy away from like the gore and the horror of all of it.
It was like a 3-hour ass whooping.
Oh yeah, bro, exactly. No, he's making a second one right now, which is fantastic.
Do you know another one who's embarrassing is Kevin Sorbo? You know what I mean? He's like out and proud right guy, but everything he does, like the movies, the entertainment he makes, like John said, it's got this fucking obvious religious bent. You know what I mean? It hits you over the head with a sledgehammer. There's no subtlety. There's no ingenuity. There's no fucking story. It's just like, we're going to make a Christian movie and stick it to the left. And I'm like, yeah, no one's going to watch it, mate. Yeah. It's just shit propaganda.
That's why I left church.
Fake and gay. It really is. I hate the propaganda. I hate when they try to force down a message down everyone's throat. Like, you can make a movie and have it have good overall, moral points, good right-wing points without making it about that,
Yeah, I feel like that's always how it's going to be. That's where we got the evangelical movement very much supporting, especially what's going on in this in the country right now to support Israel and all that kind of stuff. It's very like, oh man, that's kind of cringe. But we got Professor Grass out here. He says, as a kid, he grew up in the 90s and early 2000s. He relies upon people like us, Spirit and Mersh, to give recommendations of movies that I'm never heard about in the 80s. Yeah, we'll throw them at you, dog. We'll get you the good ones. Not that I went back and watched a couple of the 80s and 90s movies, and bro, let me tell you, they suck too, man. They really fall apart when you go back and take a look at them.
Ask Tarantino about the 1980s. He does a lot of videos. And he said the 1980s is the worst era for movies. That's straight out of Tarantino's mouth, because it come off the back of the 70s that done a lot of the movies that he liked.
But wasn't he like a Blockbuster guy? Didn't he work at like a movie rental place or whatever? And that's how he wrote his...
He's a movie nerd, isn't he? He's just basically a geek. Yeah, and now he lives in Israel with his wife.
And all those feet. He does love feet. I know that for sure.
He does.
That's what I said about Scarlet. I made a comment about that. I hope Tarantino's on this, mate. Yeah. And I hope Tarantino does a Scarlet Ralph cut. You know what I mean? That would be my dream if Tarantino saw this and got aroused and then done something about Scarlet and fucking Ralph. I would fucking love it. If he took inspiration and done a scene in his last movie about this fucking guy who he does a cutaway scene where this guy's throwing a fucking shot glass and it hits his girlfriend, and then this fat guy's running away in like slow motion or something.
Yeah. I do know he loves his feet. That's 100%.
You knew the minute you saw that scene in Dusk Till Dawn with him and Salma Hayek,
bro.
That he was definitely a feet guy. And there was no hiding.
That was so weird, bro. On Salma Hayek, how are you going to overlook all of her fantastic assets to go for her feet, bro? I was like, bro, what are you doing, dog? You're retarded. Professor Grass in the chat says Netflix is getting into the fighting game because YouTube was eating their fucking lunch. That's 100% true. But they're trying to do a carnival thing. They're actually trying to do a deal with YouTube right now. Mr. Jiki says everything is DEI. God damn. When I went to the Phantom of the Opera last week, the Phantom was a black guy, for fuck's sake. He's probably gay too, Mr. Jiki. He's probably gay too. The Phantom of the Opera, I remember that was a big thing back when I was growing up. And also Les Miserables. Everybody wanted to go see that. That was a big deal. Pat says Mel.
Just Jake Paul is behind all that Netflix, though. The guy that you love so much. Jake Paul's behind all the fucking and promotion of women's sport and women's boxing, because he sees it as a cash cow. He thinks that's the next great market. Women's combat sport. He thinks no one's into it, no one's watching it, and he's going to take a piece of the pie by getting involved with these kind of like freak show fights of big names. I wouldn't be surprised if he got someone like Amanda Nunes to come over or Chris Cyborg next. You know what I mean? It'll probably set that fight up, I would imagine.
Yeah, bro, he's going to be a promoter from now on. He's not going to fight anymore. That's what I think, and I think he's just going to do these circus fights. We got Pat in the chat. She says Mel is the GOAT, 100%. Mr. Jiki said no idea he was wearing a pimp hat for most of the musical. Talking about the black guy. Let's fucking go. Professor Grass says Mel Gibson rules. We got Presby Bro says, I want to make a Ralph biopic with Gary Busey. Gary Busey.
That would be perfect.
Will Gary Busey play Scarlett or Ralph? What do you think, Presby Bro? John, who's Gary Busey going to play, Scarlett or Ralph? It'd be
Ralph,
funny if it was
obviously.
Scarlett, dude. It'd be funny if it was Scarlett. I would love that. That would be hilarious.
Brittany Murphy would have made a perfect Scarlet, I think. Shame she's dead. Brittany Murphy would have made a fucking top-notch Scarlet.
Well, she was Scarlett.
You know who would have made a good Scarlet? The girl from Natural Born Killers.
Heather
There's
Graham.
a bunch of sisters. I can't remember. No, Natural Born Killers with Woody.
Juliette Lewis.
Oh, yeah,
Is it
Juliette Lewis. That's who it was. She
think
was
so,
crazy too.
You've got to have that trashy look, haven't you? You've got to kind of like have that wide-eyed kind of like, you know, like some birds. Have you ever dated a bird or been around a bird that's always a bit slurry, a bit slushy, a bit druggy? You know, kind of like a bit laconic. You know, it's
James,
fucking.
that just
know what I
means
mean?
she's horny and she likes you. Okay, case closed on that one. Wait, I got one or two more. Let me get where did it go? Professor Grass's hot take, but he thought Taxi Driver was a terrible movie. Yeah, I didn't like that movie either. I don't know if you guys saw that movie. And Sunset Cowboy with John Voight in it. I hated that movie too. That was a weird ass fucking movie, man. Those are some old movies.
Taxi Driver.
I don't know. I understand the character was good, but I didn't really like the movie itself. I don't know if you've seen.
Who's the actress? I think the thing about Taxi Driver is a lot of people like. She was a young girl, wasn't she? It's like Bugsy Malone. What was that fucking actress? She grew up to be a director. She directed Mel Gibson.
Well, that was the one with Robert De Niro, right? Where he like had that mohawk or whatever.
And the young girl in it, wasn't it? Fuck, I can't remember her name. She went up. She became a director. She directed Mel Gibson in something. I can't remember her fucking name.
Oh.
Was it Jodie Foster?
Jodie Foster,
Oh,
yeah,
it
and
was Jodie
Jodie
Foster.
Foster was in Bugsy Malone, and there was a lot of fucking men that are my age now that were fucking, you know what I mean? It's like Tatum O'Neal when she was young, or fucking Brooke Shields. You know, a lot of old perverts were attracted to the aspect that she was young. So it's an uncomfortable watch in many respects because you know that certain people felt about that movie a certain way. They were attracted to like this fucking 13-year-old girl.
That's what Hollywood is. That's what Hollywood is.
It's a very
exactly
fucking.
that.
I get uncomfortable watching movies like that. You know what I mean? It's like fucking because you know it's kind of like a pervy fucking movie for the filmmaker. I think.
Yeah. Mr. Cheeky says, "Holy shit, he was gay," referring to that actor. He gave him a 5-minute speech after the curtain call to advertise an HIV bucket drive for people having at the leaving the musical. Yeah, careful, Mr. Cheeky. Those kind of guys, they hit on you. Okay, they'll buy you a drink and then you'll get a GHB. Pat says it Midnight Cowboy. Yeah, not Sunset Cowboy with John Voight. Midnight Cowboy. If you guys ever want to watch a fucking weird movie, go watch that movie. John Voight plays a gigolo in that movie, and I'm trying to remember who the other actor
Dustin
was.
Hoffman plays Rick
Dustin
Sorazzo,
Hoffman.
doesn't he?
Yeah, that was such a weird thing, such a weird dynamic.
He's the pimp, isn't he? Pimps him out.
Yes, it's so gross. It's so weird. We got another Ko-Fi from CK. Here's my tithes to you happy blokes. Shout out to you, CK. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that. Like I said, we got to keep the mustache wax going. And now that James has got a beard, you got to get that beard wax. We just had to take John's stitches out. It costing a lot of money around here. Yeah, but bro, Midnight Cowboy, that was a really, really weird movie. And then Dustin Hoffman ends up dying in it on the bus ride down to Miami, bro. I was just like, what kind of movies were they making back in the 70s, man? That was.
Well, he was also in Tootsie, wasn't he? Where he dressed up as a woman. You know what I mean? It's
Tootsie
like
was a weird ass movie, man. I know that the left loves Tootsie, and they love to say how it was like such a artistic creation. It was like the predecessor for Mrs. Doubtfire with Robin Williams, where he dresses up like his the female nanny so he could be around his kids. I don't know if you guys remember that, but Tootsie was a horrible movie, bro.
It's like they love Jane Fonda and her performance. I think it was Clute where she actually ate cat food in it.
Oh,
and it's like fucking.
Yeah, there was a lot of.
She was in it with Donald Sutherland, and they reckon she was shagging Donald Sutherland at the time, and they reckon Donald Sutherland got her into all the left wing politics shit.
Bro, I believe it because the Sutherland guy, he was a weirdo. He always played like weird characters too, like CIA characters or whatever. I wouldn't even be surprised if he was CIA, got Jane Fonda in it, and they got her over there to do that photo shoot on top of the Viet Cong anti-aircraft, battery or whatever. That's some weird
That's another
shit.
franchise that they're threatening to ruin now. Amazon own it, and it's something that, looping back what John said, how everything has to be a cinematic universe. They're going to make James Bond a cinematic universe
Oh yeah.
where they're going to open it up for the double. They're going to do a series about the double O's.
God.
They're going to do a series about all the characters, and they're going to expand on the world of James Bond when everyone just wants a James
James
Bond movie
Bond.
every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, we just want to see a movie that resembles the real rules of the world. I don't want to see a movie where a woman is a 007 because, that's not James Bond. Like, she could be something else. She could be like, what was that? The one that Jennifer Lawrence played in that was the Red Sparrow, where she was basically a spy for Russia and she seduced men and then was a spy and like killed them. Like that, I thought that was a great movie where a woman was like a seductress and a spy, and there's a lot of intrigue. But don't make Jennifer Lawrence James Bond. You know what I'm saying, John? That's fucking weird as shit, bro.
Well, it's also like with the Marvel movies, what's the Thor movies, right?
Yeah.
Like, and this is no knock on Idris Elba. I like Idris Elba, but to make him a Norse god when the Norse didn't even know what a black person was kind of retarded.
Bro, even worse than that, they made Natalie Portman. They made her Thor. She must be like, what, 5'1"? They made her Thor and they let her have the fucking hammer. Yeah, it's like Mr. Jiki said, all this DEI shit is ruining everything. You can't just like, I don't want to watch a movie that's like your fantasy of what you think the world should be. I want to watch a movie that's based upon the rules of the world with a couple little changes so that you're like, wow.
Well, the rules of the world of the thing that you're, basing your movie off of.
Right.
Like, if you're going to use Marvel as the source of your movie, then go with what Marvel has done. And don't pick some shitty side story where there's like a black Captain America or something just to make a black guy Captain America.
Bro, I completely agree. Or to make Natalie Portman a fucking, Thor or whatever. It ruins the whole thing. It doesn't. I'm over the Boss Babe era. I don't know how you guys feel. Chat, let me know. Are you guys over the Boss Babe era? Like, I feel like it robs women of so many great roles to play. They write women like they're men now, instead of writing them like women who can also outsmart and outthink and outseduce men. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see
it used to be that once in a while there was a female character who was a badass male archetype, like fucking what's her name in Sarah Connor, right?
Yeah.
Or Ripley.
Right.
Right?
Ripley,
Like,
yes.
Ripley evolved into that though, because in the first movie she was like scared shitless,
Right.
and then evolved into it for the second movie. But still, I mean, it used to be that archetype would come up once in a while, and it was cool and different. But now it's like they try to make every female character into that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, no, but none of this is believable anymore.
Yeah, that it's like the character Michelle Rodriguez. She always plays like the woman with a chip on her shoulder, the lesbian,
Yeah.
and that she can beat up men too. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here. No, you can't. Okay, I don't want to see some woman like take a swing at a man and then like the man do a 300-pound, 360-pound WWE man, like big, huge, ripped guy. Fake like he just got knocked the fuck out, bro. It's just as bad as AI. It's like AI slop. You know what I'm saying?
I
It's
remember
terrible.
this one time I was at a friend's house and we were all drinking. It was like a small gathering of friends, and one of our lesbian friends was there, and I was like, "Punch me, go ahead." 'Cause she was always acting like tough, not like we weren't gonna fight, but I was like, "Hit me as hard as you can, go ahead, right in the face," and she did. And I was like, "That's all you got?" I just laughed at her.
Yeah.
I let her hit me again.
Bro, I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but you wrestle with your girlfriend every once in a while. Like, I had a girlfriend who liked to pretend wrestle and all that kind of stuff, and it would go other places later, but it started out wrestling or whatever, and she would have a good time. And then she's like, a couple times she's like, no, really try this time. I'm like, nah, I don't really want to try. I don't really want to try. And she's like, no, do it. So I would just take my hand like this and just hold her down. That's all it took. And I would just watch TV and hold her down if she like struggled to try to get up. James, have you ever...
I'm with Blue Lotus on that.
What?
Olenna Tyrell of Game of Thrones was a great female character.
Yes.
Never lifted a finger, but you could tell she was in control.
That's right.
From behind the scenes. Yeah.
She didn't have to pretend to be
exactly.
a man. That's what I'm trying to say is that like it
Yep.
really is just lazy writing when they write a story for a man and then cast a woman as that. That's really lazy writing. They're robbing the woman of her ability to play a fantastic character, and they're robbing the audience. You know, if you're going to write a man, make it a man. But if you're going to write a woman, make it a woman. You know, so it's very interesting. James, have you ever had that experience where you had a girlfriend and she's like, "No, I really want you to try. Don't just like shine me on. But if we wrestle, I want you to try and show me what you got." And then like you hold her down and she realizes, "Wow, okay, so you really are a lot stronger than I am."
Well, look, I'm a gentleman, so I won't use my left hand because it's my strong hand. But I take my right hand and I grab her face and I put it down to my groin, and that's it. Jobs are good. You know what I'm saying? So that's my maneuver.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Professor Grass in the chat says topless wrestling always a win with the with a big tittied woman. Professor Grass, you are a man after my own heart, 100%. She did have big old titties, or tiggle bitties, as we like to say.
I thought of another franchise they fucked up recently. That's John Wick.
Oh yeah,
because they did. Anna de Armas took over the lead role,
yeah,
where she was like an assassin. And I had high hopes for that film. Watched it; it was abysmal. And they also did. They did a spin-off series. I think it was a mini series, and Mel Gibson was in it.
No, the ballerina. Yeah. Is that the one you're talking about?
And they did a spin-off series.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the film The Ballerina with Anna de Armas, but they also did a spin-off series about the hotel. And it had Mel Gibson in it, where Mel Gibson ran the hotel before, and then a younger version of Ian McShane's character, and that was poorly received. I can't remember what the hotel's called. But they did a fucking the Continental. It was called the Continental. That was it.
Well, that's such a cool idea, and I don't know why they just didn't go further with it. You know, I love the idea of different assassins. I love the idea of a whole like underground type of economy, a black economy, with those gold coins where you can make hits on people. They should have gone more into that instead of making it so cartoony, man. I wanted to really see like the corporate espionage, all of that kind of stuff where they have to, I want you to kill this CEO so that we can take this over or whatever. That would have been very interesting, but they did. They ruined it. The DEI, casting all of these women and all these, I mean, like, write the characters for these people if you want them to be these people. Don't just cast them all willy-nilly. It's terrible. You know what I'm saying, James?
Well, it's always with period pieces now. It's funny, if you noticed, if you watch Bridgerton, it's like the fucking United fucking Nations, you know what I mean? Or if you watch, like, I saw something the other day, there was a period piece, and it was about a king, and I think it was a play on Henry VIII, and now Henry VIII is fucking black, disabled, got learning difficulties. It's like, whatever happened to blind casting, right? Yeah. I'm always like, best person for the role. I don't give a shit, man. I don't care about your political affiliation. I don't care what you like, what you don't like, who's your pal, ain't your pal. If you're the best person for the job, you should get the role. I truly believe in that. A meritocracy. Yeah. We used to have it's like our version of survival of the fittest. You know what I mean? A meritocracy. The cream will rise to the top. Now they don't do that. It's like before they start out, before they get a script, it's like, right, we need a fucking black actor. We need a disabled actor. We need a trans actor. We need a she-male. We need a this, that, and the fucking other. We got to have all the boxes, right? And you're never going to get a good movie like that.
It's horrible.
You want to get...
It's horrible.
It's terrible. You're just trying to... You know when people say you're putting square pegs in round holes? You're starting from a losing position. You know what I mean? But people... The mentality of the audience has completely changed. They've been indoctrinated. You know what I mean? I think I blame it on the university class.
Oh yeah.
They've just been completely fucking indoctrinated. If you don't remember those videos I was showing you lately, where the guy was just going there and he wanted to debate, and he's not even a right wing guy. He's just a guy that believes in freedom of speech, freedom of expression. He's more like John. He's a libertarian. And they just shout in your face.
Yeah.
Like, you're not coming here. You're not allowed on this university campus. They shout in your face. They throw the table up. And these are the people that are going to be our future. These are the people that are going to go into the workplace. These are the people that are supposed to be thoughtful, educated, rational, way more thoughtful and educated and rational than me because they've had a higher level of education. And yet they can barely string two words together because they've all got some kind of like mental impairment, haven't they? They're all on the spectrum, and they're complete. And I hate to say this, but they're all complete nut jobs.
What?
You know what I mean? And I feel sorry for their parents. I mean, How do the parents like square that their child's like this? Because they must see them on the video behaving in this manner, and you're paying for them to go to university, and they're just acting like complete morons.
A lot of the times the parents want them that way, and that's why they're sending them to university to get traumatized, to get changed, to get basically indoctrinated to secret societies. But John, I was going to ask you. One time I had one of my girlfriends try to give me a period piece, and I said no more of that. It was too bloody. What are your thoughts on that?
Sometimes you just gotta go get your Red Wings, bro.
Yeah. No, but no, they're really like James said. What do you think? You think the university indoctrination and the university is interesting, right? Because you get a baccalaureate or a bachelor's degree, based upon Bacchus, which is the secret society, Bacchus worship, and then you got a doctorate, which is again something else, and a master's is something else. What are your thoughts? Is that a whole social engineering program? Colleges aren't what they used to be.
Definitely, colleges are now just indoctrination centers. I mean, they should outlaw any kind of public assistance for any degree that isn't in STEM.
Yeah, I agree.
Outside of like STEM, like there's no need. I don't know if lawyer falls under STEM, but things that you actually need a degree to actually go get a job in. Outside of that, there should be no public assistance for it. Period.
Yeah, I was looking at something today, and they were estimating that the fraud in California is near $400 billion, and there's no way to or no even desire to stop. And that California has the fourth largest economy, especially in agriculture, when it's unregulated, and they are regulating it to try to destroy it. My thought is maybe they're trying to push the residents out of California so that they then can, monopolize it and then reap all the benefit after the reset. What are your thoughts on that, John?
Well, I think California has a lot of natural resources that they want to get out. And yeah, I think that there's a good chance that they are trying to, there's that whole 15-minute Agenda 2030, I think it is, with the 15-minute cities. I think they're gonna definitely try to initiate that.
Oh yeah,
you can see it happening here in Miami. The downtown is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's crazy. I've seen Google Maps Street View from like 2011, where all these giant condo buildings and hotels are now.
Yeah,
that were just like a little small neighborhood back in the day with like houses and grass and yards and stuff.
Yep.
And now it's like all just.
Now it's smoked.
Concrete jungle.
Yeah, it's smoked. Yeah.
So I think they're definitely going to keep on with the 15-minute city agenda to get people off of, the open land so that the new robber barons can go out and get all the resources and get rich.
And have the hard assets.
Just suffer.
Yeah, that's right. There's a couple of maps out there that show where they want to basically corral all of the population into like little chicken coops and just little pockets throughout America. I'll have to bring that up next time. We got Cut the Grass. He says the old clown mouth. Talking about the period piece. Yeah. Be careful out there. We got Professor Grass asking, wait, so you're telling me that my degree in Pokemon is useless? What the? Yeah, it gets even worse than that, Professor Grass. So I went to undergrad to be an engineer. I had an engineering degree. One of the things that they required was I had to take a Black Studies class, of all things. Pretty crazy.
That was a requirement?
That was a requirement, yeah. So I took a Black Studies class, and you know what my final was? I had to make a rap. I had to make a rap song and sing it in front of the class. That was the final. So at the end of
like cultural appropriation.
Yeah, at the end, well, it was. They all told me that I shouldn't be breathing. I can't breathe, and so then when I said that, they were like, okay. But no, so everybody, there's like 40 people in this class. The black teacher, of course, all of us were not black because we were the people who needed to study how to be black. And we all came up with these raps, and then the teacher was always over there going like, oh my God, it's so good, so good, so good. So good, so good. And I was just like, man, ain't this just the shit, bro? This is some bullshit. How are any of these people going to survive on this kind of degree? Like, how did she get this position? It's like, it's so much bullshit. And Blue Lotus says cringe as hell. It was so bad, bro. It was so bad. I'm not gonna lie. My rap was embarrassing as hell. Grass says it sounds like a humiliation ritual. Yeah, it does sound like that. It was. It felt like that, and you really had to go up there and like sing this little rap about, yo, West Philadelphia, born and raised. Do one of them things. On the playgrounds where I spent most of my days. You know what I'm saying, John? Little Fresh Prince of Bel Air, but see, Bel Air was L.A. because I was in California. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? That's how we do it. John, James, what are your thoughts on that? If you had to do a rap, would you do a rap in a Black Studies class? And what would it be about?
I wouldn't even be in there with all those black people.
No, there was no black people. There was no black people in the Black Studies class. That's the point of it.
No, I'm just fucking around. But no, it's like, no, I wouldn't do that. I told you, not to a lesser extent, but I've got my third strike on TikTok in 90 days. And they're threatening to take my account away. One of them, because I said that gypsies are white. I said gypsies are white, because I was doing the old Wuthering Heights thing when it came out, and I was like, they're not Middle Eastern, they're not fucking Indian, and I said the words gypsy, Middle Eastern, and Indian, and they gave me a strike, and I'm like, you do realise I'm a gypsy? I've got gypsy blood, and they still gave me a fucking strike. I was like, I can't use the word. And they were like, no, you can't. That's cultural appropriation. I'm like, fuckhead, I've got gypsy blood. I can use the word. It's like, we don't say gypsy. They're like fucking travellers or some shit. I was like, oh, fuck off, right? And then I got fucking popped the other day. What was it I got popped for the other day? When I said, oh, yeah, you're always going on about Christians, but you never say anything about radical Islam. And they popped me again for saying radical Islam. And they were like, if you want to get these 3 strikes removed, the next strike, we're going to permanently ban you. They said, if you want to get these 3 strikes removed, you can take an online course in race relations. And I was like, yeah, get fucked. You can keep the strike. I'm just not going to comment. I'm not going to comment for 3 months on any video.
Yeah, facts.
And I'm just going to do it that way. But I can never be in one of those classes. 1, I'd say something inappropriate. 2, I would laugh. 3, I would take the piss out of everyone and get kicked out anyway. It's just not for me. They want you in their place, don't they? It's a bit like the church in a certain respect. They want you to kneel, stand, kneel, stand, kneel, stand. And that's just not in my nature.
That's exactly
I say what I want, when I want, to who I want, how I want.
Yeah,
and I always try to be nice to people. I always try to be respectful, even if they're not respectful to me.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? But I just couldn't do that. It's just not in my nature. It feels somewhat demeaning and somewhat false, and it's all artificial. Who fuck cares?
Yeah,
I said what I said. I'm allowed to say gypsy, radical Islam. I say what the fuck I want. I don't care.
Yeah, we got Grass in the chat. He says do haikus count, and I'm like, I don't think so. Math is racist, and if you know anything about haikus, they have to be 575. What about hakas though, John? Do hakas count? That New Zealand dance where they stick their tongue out? Is there anything more cringe than that shit, bro?
God, no.
Jesus Christ.
I have a buddy that's Australian, and he talks. They call them abos out there.
Oh, okay.
Aborigines.
Yeah.
And, it's pretty cringe, man.
Yeah.
It's really fucking cringe.
That is some shit, man.
Well, Australia's going down the toilet. Australia used to be the best fucking country,
used
right?
to be.
Have you ever seen those adverts where they're drinking a tinny, they're drinking a can of Foster's, they're calling the bird Sheilas? You know what I mean? It's a very
Dundee, bro. That OG, Paul Hogan.
It was better than England in England's pomp. Australia was the peak. It was like they call them like larrikins, where they're all a bit of lads. They're the boys. They're out on the lash. They're getting pissed up. They're pulling the birds.
Yeah.
But now it's all come in because they've had an influx of migrants, and you've got all these people that have come into the parliament, the next generation, and it's all just gone to shit. The men are disappeared. Masculinity's gone.
They're pussies.
When Mel Gibson's generation of Australian dies out, the next generation is fucking shocking.
I didn't really get to too many of my notes today, but one of the things that I was going to talk about was how in Australia they are they're mixing water in with their gasoline. There's no food on the shelves.
What?
Yeah, they're mixing ethanol with their gasoline. They're mixing water with their gasoline. It's like breaking engines and doing all kinds of crazy shit. And it's because they're all pussies. Now they're all mad at their government. But their government, like 3 years ago, built this huge fence around like their state building, so nobody could like come up close to it. John, are you doing okay over there? Don't want you to die.
Yeah,
you're hawking up a lung over there, bro. I saw your scar almost come apart there for a second. No, I'm kidding.
He's like Harry Potter now, isn't he? He's a bit like Harry Potter, isn't he? He's got the
Harry Potter.
He's got the Voldemort thing, isn't he?
He's exactly Harry Potter. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you're right, James. Australia, like they took it up the ass, bro. You said something about a square hole and a round peg. They took the square peg and the round hole.
Canada's another country, you know what I mean? It's like they're supposed to be like this big time hockey, fucking tough, fucking, when I look at it, it's freezing cold all the fucking time. They're supposed to breed tough men,
they're
strong men. And it's like they're fucked. England's fucked. America's kind of clinging on. You've still got some people in America, I suppose, because it's so vast, but it's clinging on by its fingertips.
Everybody in the Five Eyes. Do you guys know what the Five Eyes is? The Five Eyes
is that the intelligence thing? Is that the intelligence thing?
Right. Everybody with that has this whole CIA, which I think that's where DEI comes from, in order to homogenize the culture and make the society more amiable or more malleable to what the government wants them to do. And so they make all of these groups inside of it that break down the whole of the vulcanizes the entire society, and it's happening in all the Five Eyes countries.
It's also a sneaky thing that they do because, all right, CIA isn't allowed to operate in the U.S. technically, right? But their buddies in Mossad can. So
right,
then
exactly.
They talk to their buddies in Mossad.
Well, you know what's interesting about that?
MI6.
They're saying that a lot of the Antifa people, they're saying that a lot of the ICE agents are all IDF soldiers that they're bringing over from Israel. And that's why they're not letting them take their masks off, because then they'll know that they have IDF operating on American soil. And so I think that's pretty fucking crazy. But we're coming up to the top of the second hour. I know I dropped that bomb about the IDF. We could probably go on talk about that for another hour. But we're going to wrap it up. You guys be thinking about your final thoughts, and I'll come back and talk to you for a second. Let me jump in the chat real quick. We got CK says, James should be the head administrator at Eaton. That's possible. He said, also rage against the machine, James. Rage. Do not go quiet into the night.
They went down the pan, didn't they? They were proper pro-COVID people, weren't they? They were like, more government, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Talk about doing a 180.
Yeah. Presby says, woo, this new batch is rocking me. I think he's talking about his beer. Have another one on for me, bro, 100%. Who else we got? Professor Grass says, DEI comes from Epstein. He wanted to blur the lines between women and men. And we all know Epstein was just a mouthpiece for the Rothschilds and the elite. The elite wanted to, basically homogenize society, make them more compliant, yada, yada, yada. We're totally we're copacetic on that one. So they would accept far more radical things. I completely agree with you, Grass. You're 100% right on that. John, what are your final thoughts? Let's wrap it up. And where can people find you, bro?
You guys can find me on Twitter, Third Rail Podcast. That's 3RD third, or Third Rail Politics spelled out on YouTube and Rumble. I'll be back at some point. I've had a rough
we got to get that birthday
weeks.
Stream going, bro. We got to do a little bit of that.
I have the bottle of fucking Jameson in the freezer, just waiting for it. So
that's right, bro.
Do you remember that day I was waiting for the link in the chat? That was so fucking embarrassing. I was like the only geezer that didn't get the message. I think it was on the Thursday or something, and I was like, I had the chat open on one of my tablets, and I was like, I'm staying up all night. I don't think John's going to drop the link.
Yeah. No.
I was just having that same audio issue, and then I just started feeling bad, and
you got to recover, haven't you? You've had a rough time of it, man. You've had it worse than Scarlett.
Yeah, bro. He got his head knocked.
I wouldn't say I've had it worse than Scarlett, but
probably a lot less anal sex than Scarlett. Say that, right? But yeah, we got to get that birthday stream going. We got to pop on there and give you a proper birthday action. James, where can people find you? What are your final thoughts, bro?
Yeah, they can find me on James Domenico Grabham 81 on YouTube, X, fucking TikTok, Instagram, Threads, the usual. But nah, my final thought, more Scarlett and Ralph, I guess, later tonight. I love my man. I love it.
Yeah, let's see where that happens.
Can you imagine that? This is like the worst. This is like the thing, right? I saw something last night and it was like, we're in love. And it's like, Mersh pointed out, they've seen each other like 2 times. You know what I mean? And it's love, and we're getting married. And there was this Ashley bird, right? And she was really insistent about this announcement. And this announcement was obviously that they're getting married. And she was like, can we do the announcement? No. I know you're bleeding to death, but can we do the announcement? Look, shut up, Ralph. But can we do this announcement on my show? Because I want to announce this announcement.
Bro,
I really want to announce it.
Yeah, facts, bro. The other thing,
and there was this Roachy guy, and he was such a little simp to her, man. He was like Ashley. He was doing my voice. He's from my neck of the woods. He's going, Ashley, you're doing well, Ashley. "Oh, I love you, Ashley. Oh, you're the best, Ashley." It's
Yeah.
like,
No,
dude,
you're
it's
100% right.
terrible.
They couldn't. They were supposed to last a whole week until Hackamania. They were supposed to stay here the whole week, but they couldn't even last 3 days together. And they blew up, and Ralph ended up flying back to Mexico. That's some shit, bro.
So is that aborted now? We're not going to get the marriage. We're not going to get Hackamania.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I thought they posted a video the next morning of
did they
together eating? Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't even know the
I think
latest.
he's going
I'm
back
out of the
to
mix.
feed the cats or something.
Oh, okay.
Because Food Mountain was running low, I guess.
So he flew home to feed the cats. That makes a lot of sense.
That's allegedly, yeah, and
I'm gonna have to
this
watch.
is just all wild.
I'm gonna have to watch the Ministry on next on YouTube or Merch later. Go watch Merch later, guys. On Rumble or YouTube. Catch up on all your gossip with the crazy Scarlett and Ethan.
It's like crack cocaine, isn't it? I'm not a fucking drug guy and I'm not a junkie, but fucking hell, man, it's like. When I sit, and what's it with this? Someone said it was probably Merch. He says all this stuff. But what's with the NWO black and white filter? Have you noticed that? Yeah. Everything is like film noir with this guy. It's like.
Well, like, probably because his face is breaking out and he's having like rashes.
It's like
and stuff,
fucking hell, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
That whole,
and the eating videos. I know I do eating videos, but I do it very tongue in cheek and taking the piss, and it's like 2 minutes. But we get to see fucking Scarlett's wide mouth eating a burger.
Yeah, that's
not. I know your mouth is big. You've had a lot of black dicks in there. We get it, but it's like, it's not the fucking eating videos.
Yeah, yeah. No, facts, bro. Also, so go follow James Domenico Grabbin on X and James Domenico Grabbin 81 on YouTube. Get him some more followers. We're trying to give him a boost. He's got a fantastic new microphone. We're going to give him a little clap for that. He sounds fantastic. His audio is good. How's my audio, he asked. I say it's good. Special thank you to A Gray Cloudy Day ×2. Thank you to David P. Thank you to the Future Dead Guy, and thank you to CK. Let's fucking go for making that happen on Ko-Fi for us today, 100%. All right, everybody, we're out of here until Friday. We're going to have a great time. Go kick some ass, have a great rest of your week, and carry that energy, okay? Don't let anybody play a prank on you, but we're gone.